Well, welcome back to another episode of Real Life Fisherman. We're gonna do a how-to video, an install video. Gonna hook up my buddy Jay. He just bought this 16-foot fisher. Looking to trick it out a little bit, so we're gonna hook him up. We're installing the Elite Ti2 7. It's the newer, fancier version from mine. Mine's the original Ti. This is a Ti2. Allows wireless sharing between two units. Before, it could only wireless to your phone or a tablet to use as a second fish finder. Now it will actually wirelessly communicate for mapping and basic sonar, not any of the structure imaging, side imaging or down imaging. It won't share that, but it will share sonar, it will share mapping and GPS data, waypoints and that kind of stuff wirelessly with another unit without any network cable, which is awesome. And you're not gonna beat, that's why I run this, you're not going to beat an Elite Ti, a LOWRANCE Elite Ti for the price. Touchscreen, wireless, Bluetooth, it's got all of it. Tides, waypoints, most of them come with the Navionics chip or a CMAPS chip anyway, which is a $200 upgrade if you buy it separately. For about $800 to $899, you cannot beat this fish finder, I guarantee it. So we're doing a motor guide. It's a 12-volt trolling motor. It is a 52-pound thrust, wireless, which is great to do. Bow-mounted fish trolling motor is the way to go. It's the way to fish anymore. If you're not doing it, get with the program, get with the times. It's time to change. It's the way to fish. So we're doing that. He did get a Group 31 battery, so we're going to try to squeeze a Group 31 battery in here. It's going to take a little finagling to get it in, but we'll do it. I'm going to go over how to mount the transducer location, and just all those considerations you want to make before you go drilling holes into your boat and figure out it wasn't right and have to try to move it and patch holes. So we're going to go over all that and mount the trolling motor and check it out, see how it's done. All right, so we're gonna mock up the transducer here. This install is a little bit out of the box. It's not quite how most people would do it. He does want to leave his existing fish finder on the helm as a backup unit. If you are gonna run two transducers from two different fish finders, you want to make sure that either one, they're not on at the same time, or two, set on two different frequencies. One on 83 hertz, the other one on 200 hertz, you know, whatever. Just so that way you're not getting crosstalk where one transducer is going to cause interference with the other. We're going to mount his unit on the back deck. He wants his newer unit on the back deck. That's where he fishes most. He's going to be trolling pretty much standing in the back of the boat or, you know, bait fishing. So he wants to see his new unit on the back. And so that's how we're going to wire it up. So normally, like say that there wouldn't be a second transducer here. Ideally, you want to be on the right side of a single engine. So if you have a single engine like this here, I mean, of course you have a kicker, but the single engine, you do want to be on the right side. It avoids any interference. You get like prop wash and noise clutter on the other side of the engine. It will work over there. It's just not optimal. Optimal position is on the right side of the engine, somewhere mid-range between the edge of the boat and the keel, somewhere that's going to be in water on plane. And also, so when you're mounting any transducer, but especially these structure stand transducers, you don't want them hanging completely below the boat. What you want is on the high side of the hull. If you have a V hull on the high side, if it's a flat bottom, just it doesn't matter. Then what you're trying to do is dissect this transducer right here along this middle line. a line horizontally all the way down the transducer. You want that level with the bottom of the boat on the high side. So for instance, the easiest way to do that is to get a straight edge like this, put it on here, and get it right there, just like that. Somewhere right in there is going to be perfect. Again, this is on the high side of a V hole, so the other side is actually up, protected behind the hull. Any lower and you'll get too much again, interference. You'll tear it off on something. So the best place to do it is just like that. And mark your holes. And then you're ready to drill. So we're gonna go ahead and seal up a couple of these old holes right here while we're at it. There looks to be an old fish finder, couple of mount screws here. We're gonna take these out and go ahead and rivet these up. I like to rivet. These don't look like they were stainless steel. They're rusting, so we want to get rid of those. I'm gonna put some aluminum rivets in there with some silicone, and it'll be a permanent seal. No worries in the future. So we got the aluminum rivets. We're gonna fill these the two holes here where they had some just regular screws in there and they were rusting. So if you're filling any old holes from your old transducer, it's best to do aluminum rivets in an aluminum boat, especially. In a fiberglass boat, you're just gonna wanna use some silicone or 5200 from 3M and run some screws back into those old holes. But when you're putting the rivets in, just size up your drill bit, where the easiest way I do is with my fingertip. Drill bit should be just slightly larger than the from the rivet. And then when you're putting your screws in, it's just right the opposite. The drill bit should be just slightly smaller than the threads on the screw. So you want to fill the hole with some silicone, marine grade silicone, stuff that's meant to be below the water line. Not just your window silicone, marine grade silicones for below water line. Only use that. So I like to do that, and then also coat the rivet right here like that. It's your rivet gun. Then what I like to do, wipe the silicone from around it and kind of use the excess to fill the hole that's left in the rivet. Okay, now that's sealed up. You'll never have any issue of a leak there. You're not going to cause any corrosion from dissimilar metals. Your aluminum on aluminum. That's the one right there, where you can grab the threads with your thumb and forefinger, put your drill bit in, and if you have to kind of bend around the threads of the screw to touch, that's the right drill bit. Not too much, but just a little. You don't want it so tight you're going to snap the head of the screw off when you run it in. And then reason why I draw the hole in the bracket is so that you can go right in the middle of each one, and then that allows you for adjustment up or down if you need to loosen it up, to raise it or lower it for optimum picture clarity on your sonar, or any spray. Sometimes if they're too low, it can cause a spray or a rooster tail when you're on plane, which can spray back in the boat and be annoying. Fill those with silicone. And I always also do the first few threads on the screw. Get that one, then you can let it hang. Don't tighten them all the way up first. Just get them all in there. Don't want to over tighten them. You can go ahead and wipe these. So on a quick note, it's purely for visual, aesthetically. I always try to make the transducer wire straight up and down, you know, in a mechanical, make it look mechanical, basically. You know, nice right angles or straight up and down plumb. You don't think it makes a difference, but when somebody looks at the back of your boat and you got wires just running diagonally or any which way, like spaghetti, it just doesn't look right. It looks kind of tacky. So just take a little extra time and run it straight up and down when you're doing your wire clips. Like this, for instance, I had existing wires here, so I kind of had to make the new one run with it, and then I zip tied them to it, and then this is the speedo tube, so this has to be able to move. That's kind of what I did here. Just take a little extra time and it'll look better in the long run. Normally all this would be running up to the helm, and you could zip tie the excess in the side or up under the dash, but being that we're going to mount it back here on the rear deck, going to have to get creative. There we go, problem solving abilities. Yes, success. For marine batteries, and any battery for that matter, don't use wing nuts. Most engine manufacturers require that you use a battery nut. Wing nuts are a no-no. When I see them, I swap them out. Like I say, this is 200 bucks. I had to buy this separately. They didn't offer it. I bought mine pretty early when they just released the Ti, you know, like probably 4 or 5 years ago, 5 years ago. The SD card slot, which I always put it in wrong every time. First SD card slot's behind the LOWRANCE logo. Push that in until it clicks. Cover it back up. There we go. They take a while to warm up. These things are like computers now, so. All right, so when it comes up, you're gonna have your startup menu, which you're gonna select English, unless you want a different language. It's gonna ask you, yes, confirm, accept your disclaimer, start retail mode, no, configure this device. You want miles per hour, miles, and feet as your increments of measurement, yes. Most people would like that unless you like knots. And then lakes or coastal, so pretty much you're going to use it more freshwater or salt. Lakes, regular fishing or ice fishing. Yeah, you're done. Finish the setup. Do you wish to change chart to the inserted charts, which is the navionics? And then it also auto data source. This is if you had another one and you were trying to link them, you would want that other one powered up now. So yes, we want to view the navionics chip, and that's the registration you can do later. Gonna come up. Oh, found us pretty quick. We're in Sacramento. You can keep zooming in. You can even go and pre-fish. Let's go to Folsom. So you can see the contour lines on here already. You can go in and pre-fish, mark your route, mark where you want to fish before you even get to a body of water. So I mean, let's say you wanted to go here, you wanted to fish in this area, go there, you can mark a waypoint right now. and then you can go there, you can label it and go there when you get on the water. So it's really handy for anybody that's never been to a lake or a river before. You can kind of map it out before you even get there while you're sitting in your driveway. And then if you want to go back, clear cursor, and it'll take you back where you were. You can use just a clean wire brush or a stiff bristled like tire brush that's clean, and just go reverse of the carpet that's all smashed, and it'll fluff it back up again and pull it up with the vacuum. I mean, it ain't gonna look like brand new, but I mean, after being smashed down for 20 something years, it's a lot better than it was. All right, so we're gonna go over how to set up the your screen, personalize it. Some of the basic setups I always do whenever I install one of these fish finders from LOWRANCE. So you have your pages button here, brings up all of your pages. You're gonna have to go through each one and set. Right now it only comes factory with the depth and the water temperature. So you're gonna wanna add your GPS speed to it. I don't know why it doesn't come from factory that way, but you're gonna quick push the power button, and you're going to edit your overlay, and you want to add, hit the add button, and then you want to scroll down to GPS. Then you're going to want to get speed over ground, not water. The ground is actual mile per hour. Now you got your speed over ground here. You can touch any of these and move them around. You can make them bigger like that. Touch that one there, touch that one there, make that one bigger. That's a good way to run it. And when you're happy with how it is, you can even move it wherever you want. You can, so, and then hit save, and then you'll have to do it again for the next screen. You have to do it for every screen. There's all kinds of things I could show you on these, but you're also going to want to do it to your split screens. Anything with a GPS is going to have speed, but like this won't have speed. So another thing that I like to do here, go to settings. We want to make sure that our transducer is right. AI 3-in-1 is correct. It should auto recognize anymore. Used to, you have to go in and do that. So we want to go to settings, and we're going to go to system. This is a thing that I really like to do. We're going to go to advanced. We're going to go to user interface, and then we're going to auto hide the menu, so you'll get more screen when it times out. And that's going to look like, I'll show you in a second. Here, this menu bar is going to slide away, and you'll have more screen. There you go. And if you want to bring the menu back, bring the menu back. You can adjust everything. Like say you have advanced features in here as well. You also have your tides info. It's going to come up. This is the nearest tide buoy, so it tells you your highs, your lows, your time of day, all of that. All kinds of different things that this can do. You can also, like I said, if you have here wireless, connect your phone or tablet, connect with another Elite Ti2. You know, you want to be able to do, you can hook up your phone or a tablet to this. That's a basic rundown of the simple things to do with this right out of the box. All right, well, that wraps it up for today. Got all the installs done and a couple other little things he wanted to have done. Swap the batteries out. He's got his new XI3 trolling motor. He's going to be loving it out trolling for salmon. He's got that new kicker on the back, so he can just push with the kicker and steer with this wireless. And it's nice. It's the way to go. It's the way to troll anymore. Also got his Elite Ti mounted on the back, right where he wanted it, so it'd be easy for him to use back there on the tiller trolling, or when he's using his downrigger. So thanks for watching. You know, as always, if you have any questions, go ahead and send me a message. Thanks for watching, guys.